Phil Taylor is widely regarded as the greatest darts player of all time and has the most world titles of any player by a mile, with 16, over 10 more than any other player has, and he won half of them consecutively between 1995 and 2002. He also famously won the World Matchplay title a record 16 times, winning 99 of his 107 games in the event and hitting 2 9-darters. Taylor's ridiculous level can be seen in his record during the first 4 years of the European Championship, where he won 20 of his 20 games, picking up 4 titles without facing a single match dart. He only averaged below 100 in one of those games, and 13 of the averages were over 105. His lowest tournament winning average was 104.29, with the highest of 111.54 being the highest PDC tournament winning average ever. In total, his career average taken from 774 games was 101.28. Phil retired from the PDC after reaching the 2018 World Final and ended his career with over 100 TV titles. Over a year later, we got a good indication that Phil's level was still high, as he managed to beat young superstar and then BDO World Youth Champion 13-year-old Leighton Bennett in a televised exhibition with an average of 96.7. But then, we didn't see Phil play much over the following 2 years, especially with COVID. Then in the summer of 2021, the first Seniors Tour event, the 2022 World Seniors Darts Championship, was announced, and all of the reporting was around the return of Phil. A few weeks later, Taylor shared a photo of him signing a seniors contract to his excited fans, making it all official. The first event was open to all players over the age of 50 and would see 22 invited players, joined by 2 players from an open seniors qualifying event. Fans became even more excited when it was announced that the event would take place at the Circus Tavern, the former long-time home of the PDC World Championship, where Taylor dominated. Some further good news followed in October when it was announced that the event would air free-to-air on BBC Online, some great exposure. Phil said that the news had given him a new lease of life, as he had the chance to become a world champion again. While big darts fans were interested in watching all of the players on the stage again, many more casual fans simply wanted to only watch Taylor, with invited former world champ Bob Anderson saying that the tournament wouldn't be particularly important if Phil wasn't playing. As a seed in the event, Phil began in round 2 and was drawn to face the winner of a game between Peter Manley and Dieter Hedman, which Manley won to set up an intriguing tie between 2 former rivals who faced off in fierce world finals. Manley managed to win the first set of their best of 5 tie, despite Phil averaging 83, 5 points more than him. Both players' averages then fell, but Taylor managed to win 9 of the next 10 legs to get a 3-1 win, in which he averaged just 81. Following that, Phil said, "I tried so hard. I was pushing and pulling them. I tried everything to get them straight. We can't play the darts that we used to, but tomorrow is a different day. I've got to get my head on. It was like I was playing with my left hand. It was weird. I wasn't trying too hard to beat Peter. I was trying to please the people who had paid money to see me." Phil's average did improve by 5 points for his next match, which was against another old rival in Kevin Painter, but he only managed to win 3 legs and lost 3-0 in sets, with the man known as the Artist averaging 88.88. Phil thanked his fans for their support following the game and added that from that day on he would work his socks off practicing to improve ahead of the next event, the Seniors Masters, which took place at another iconic darts venue, the Lakeside, and it seemed to pay off as he performed much more consistently, averaging between 84 and 85 in wins over John Part, Les Wallace and Tony O'Shea to reach his first seniors final, where he averaged 85 again in a 6-3 loss to Canadian David Cameron, who had been the 33-1 shot ahead of the event. Next up was the Seniors Matchplay in Hull, and Phil began with a poor performance, averaging 75 and an 8-4 first round win over Dieter Hedman. Following that, he said, "I tried too hard, that's the trouble. I'm trying to impress. You're trying to entertain these people, as they've paid good money to see you. They're like, Phil, play like you did in the 90s, but I can't. It's so difficult, but I've got to try. My grandson Matthew is with me every day, and we're trying to figure out how to put this right. I think I need my eyes done. I need a new hip, my teeth are falling out. "My hair's going grey," to which Bobby George joked that he also needed a new arm. After then averaging 80 in his second seniors win against Manly, Phil averaged 88 in a brilliant 12-10 semi-final win against Painter, a great performance which he celebrated a lot after. He was now in his second seniors final in a row, but he was beaten again, this time averaging 85 in a 12-10 loss to Robert Thornton. Phil was upbeat after that though, saying, "I've absolutely loved it. I've loved Hull as well. I really wanted to win this. I had my chances, but just clipped the doubles. We're going to go back at 6 AM tomorrow and get back so I can practice. Then, 12 PM, I'm going to get back on the practice board with my grandson Matthew and practice a bit harder. Pity John Lowe has retired tonight. It killed me to watch Robert win. His finishing was phenomenal. He did the job. They're worried now because Phil's coming back." Ahead of the 2023 campaign, he also underwent laser eye surgery and had a gym installed in his home in an effort to improve his level. His level though fell from the previous event in the 2023 Worlds as he began with an 82 average in a tough 3-2 win against Colin McGarry, in which the Northern Irishman missed a match start in a tiebreak. He then averaged just below 84 in a comfortable 3-1 second round win against Darren Johnson, which included a 1-6-1 checkout, setting up a tie against qualifier Richie Howson. Howson, the hometown hero, averaged 87, 5 points more than Taylor, in a 5-2 win. It was then announced that Phil had signed a contract to play in the rest of the 2023 Seniors Tour, as well as in 2024, before retiring fully, a big boost for the organisers. He said that he would improve after undergoing hip surgery that summer, but the final 3 events of that year were very tough for him. In the inaugural Champion of Champions, he averaged 82 in a 10-8 loss to eventual champion Leonard Gates. He did average 87 in his 2 games at the Masters, but lost 4-2 to Dennis Harbour in round 2. He also lost in round 2 at the Matchplay, that time 8-6 against Paul Hogan with an 84 average. It was now time for the 2024 senior season, where Taylor was set to appear in his final 4 competitive events, and in the first of those, Phil's final ever World Championship, he was drawn against German former soft-tip world champion Manfred Bilder, who was priced at 3.0 with Bet365. While Bilder was fairly unknown at the time, both fans and pundits felt his odds were too high, as he was regularly playing and had appeared in recent German Super Leagues, compared to Phil, who wasn't playing much and was struggling when he was. And they were certainly right, as in the game, where admittedly both players played equally poorly, Manfred made the better start, winning 6 of the first 7 legs to go 2-0 up. Taylor then managed to claw it back to 2-all, taking back-to-back sets of his own, each of which he won 3-1, but Manfred then won the 5th and deciding set by the same scoreline, securing him a 3-2 win in arguably Taylor's worst match ever, one which saw him average below 75 and lose to Bilder, who averaged just 75.09 himself. Reflecting on that, Taylor revealed that around the time he began to struggle badly with arthritis, saying the following: "It killed my leg, it killed my back, it killed everything. It's awful when you've got people there cheering you on, and the crowd came back and they really went noisy. It was great to be a part of it. I hate it, and I won't go out like that. I'm desperate now to start playing properly. Because I've got arthritis in my hip, I can't turn right, so I'm not throwing straight. I've had to sit and think about it. Hopefully over the next week, I can shed a bit of weight and get rid of this pain, as it's a nightmare 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even if you turn over in bed at night, you're in pain." Phil did manage to up his level for the Champion of Champions, where he missed 4 match starts to beat Martin Adams, including one from 158 in a sudden death leg, before losing 10-9 with a decent average of 86. That was something to build on in the final 2 events, and ahead of them, he updated fans saying that he had had a hip operation, which he hoped would make everything back to normal. Phil was then given a tough draw for September's Senior Masters, and he was set to face the reigning Seniors World Champion John Henderson. However, shortly before the event, it was announced that Taylor had withdrawn on medical advice and wouldn't play at the event, instead working there in a broadcast role. That meant he had just 1 event left of his career, the Senior Masters, but he then also pulled out of that due to the hip issues, bringing an end to his competitive career. In May of this year, he finally officially confirmed his retirement from playing, including in exhibitions, and he's spoken about his tough time on the seniors circuit since, saying, "I was really looking forward to it. I love the idea of seniors darts. I enjoy playing in it, but I couldn't perform like Phil Taylor could perform, so it broke my heart a little bit. The physical demands had started to outweigh the joy. My body had changed. I mean, I'm 65 this year, so I was in my 60s. It got harder and harder for me, and I couldn't perform. And people were paying money to come and see me. It broke my heart not to perform like I can, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. This is not right. If I'm doing something, I have to do it properly. I'm a bit of a perfectionist." Around the time of Taylor's senior farewell, several changes were made to the circuit, most notably the lowering of the age limit from 50 to 45, which proved very unpopular. Around the time, the tour's floor events, which allowed some smaller names to qualify, were scrapped, making it seem more and more like an exhibition circuit. This move was in direct contrast to what the head of the seniors had said earlier in the year at the Worlds, where he noted that the circuit would now stand on its own 2 feet, and that it was now about if players were good enough rather than what they'd done in the past. Early 2024 also saw them lose their biggest sponsor, JenningsBet, a big blow. They did host their 4th World Championship at the Circus Tavern at the start of this year, which was won by Ross Montgomery, but changes to June's Champion of Champions made the next event very underwhelming. The date and location of the event were moved with no reason given, and it was moved to the small Modus Live Lounge, which is already used a lot, and held on just one day. They also overlooked any qualifiers, and instead chose to continue to use the same Inner Circle players. Tickets were also expensive at £50, and failed to sell out, even with the big news that Raymond van Barneveld had been allowed to play and accepted a wildcard. The event did go ahead, and Montgomery won his 2nd title in a row, but played in a small venue with a short format. It just seemed flat. And now the Seniors Tour has seemingly died, with the website being taken down and social media sold, despite no official announcement. Fans who purchased tickets for upcoming events have begun to receive refunds, and it's clear that the tour had been losing money, likely more since the loss of Taylor. The World Seniors was certainly a good addition to the yearly darting schedule, and it's sad that we won't see more events in the future. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below, and also about Phil's time there. And whilst you're at it, if you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please don't forget to subscribe, as currently just 15% of my viewers are. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I upload a brand new darts video. Please also leave a like, as it would really help the channel out, and if you have any future videos you want me to make, let me know in the comment section down below.